Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
Lin Moyu arrived at the top of the secret realm cave, and his entire body was inverted. For a moment, he couldn't tell which side was the top of the cave and which was the ground. Section 2352 23,692,353. He even had an illusion that when he first entered the secret realm, he was actually upside down. Now he was truly standing on the ground. This illusion was very strong. In the starry sky, there is no concept of top and bottom, it is all relative. Lin Moyu changed his perspective and finally saw some different scenes. The previous ground had now become the top. From a distance, Lin Moyu saw that the trees in the secret realm vaguely formed a rune. This rune felt somewhat familiar. This is a guiding rune. I didn't expect the holy rune Heavenly Venerate to use runes as a puzzle. But this rune is incomplete, only 1/3 of it. The other part is here. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he flew up again, changing direction. The top and bottom of the cave, with trees forming 1/3 of the rune each. The other third was around the surroundings. Lin Moyu combined these trees in his mind, forming a complete rune. Then he reached out and drew the rune, which was not complicated, formed by the fusion of two basic runes. Any rune master above the 7th rank could draw and fuse it. The difference was that other rune masters found it difficult to achieve perfect fusion. But Lin Moyu could perfectly fuse the runes. In his eyes, this rune was not complicated and posed no difficulty. The real challenge was recognizing that the rune was formed by the trees and then combining them. After all, there were too many flowers and plants here, creating many interfering factors. If one was not particularly familiar with runes and did not observe extremely carefully, they would not be able to see it. A rune formed at his fingertips, and after activation, it turned into a stream of light, flying into the distance. The rune flew to the edge of the secret realm, disappearing into an inconspicuous patch of grass. Lin Moyu keenly saw that behind this patch of grass, a 9-petaled wood god flower appeared. This wood god flower was as white as jade, emitting a faint glow, looking more like a piece of fine white jade than a flower. The fragrance of the flower penetrated the soul, refreshing Lin Moyu's spirit. The wood god flower indeed had the effect of enhancing the soul, especially high-grade wood god flowers, which had significant effects. Lin Moyu confirmed that there was no wood god flower in this patch of grass before. It appeared because of the rune's activation. The rune was the key to this layer of the secret realm. The rune not only guided the way but also activated the holy rune Heavenly Venerate's arrangement, truly obtaining the wood god flower. Lin Moyu went to pick the wood god flower, and a tremor came from the side. A large tree suddenly grew crazily, reaching hundreds of meters high in an instant. This ordinary tree transformed into a rune beast in the blink of an eye, and it was a high-level rune beast, with a strong presence of rule power. The branches whipped down like whips, but Lin Moyu did not dodge or avoid them, not even paying attention. The Death Dragon Knights were the first to meet the attack, their golden armor blocking the whips. They surrounded the tree and began to attack it in groups. The tree was strong, not weaker than the Death Dragon Knights, but it couldn't withstand the group attack for long. Lin Moyu smoothly picked the wood god flower, muttering to himself, another puzzle of the Heavenly Venerate solved. In less than a minute, the rune beast tree was killed, turning into runes and dissipating. With the guardian rune beast dead and the wood god flower in hand, the secret realm rumbled and shook violently. Lin Moyu looked up and saw a large crack in the sky above, shrouded in mist. In the mist, a giant wood god flower loomed. This wood god flower had 12 petals, looking completely jade-like, emitting a white light, extremely holy. The king of wood god flowers. Lin Moyu knew that everyone who obtained high-grade wood god flowers would see the king of wood god flowers. Therefore, there were many records about the king of wood god flowers in the data. But it was only seen. No one had ever obtained the king of wood god flowers. Looking at the king of wood god flowers, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, "You belong to me." In the mist, a portal appeared, and Lin Moyu rushed into it, entering the next secret realm. The cave was identical, and the environment looked no different. The Death Dragon Knights first cleared the rune beasts in the secret realm. Compared to the previous time, the rune beasts were slightly stronger but still overwhelmed by the Death Dragon Knights. Lin Moyu looked up at the trees in the secret realm, combining them in his mind to form a rune. The rune has changed. Lin Moyu found that this time the rune was different from the previous one, a completely new combination of runes. Compared to the previous rune, the two runes combined this time were slightly more complex. But it still didn't stump Lin Moyu. He not only drew the rune but also achieved perfect fusion. The rune flew out, activating the wood god flower. The Death Dragon Knights dealt with the rune beasts, while Lin Moyu took the wood god flower. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Lin Moyu went through 6 secret realms, each one more difficult than the last. The rune beasts grew stronger each time. By the 3rd round, the rune beasts were already on par with the Death Dragon Knights, at least in one-on-one situations. By the 4th round, the rune beasts reached Divine Venerate level 8, officially surpassing the Death Dragon Knights. At this point, Lin Moyu deployed the Legion rulers. Under their leadership, the combat power of the Death Dragon Knights increased significantly, and the rune beasts were once again quickly defeated. The rune beasts were a test of combat power, while the other test targeted runes, with the difficulty constantly increasing. The runes became more and more complex, harder to discern. By the 4th round, Lin Moyu found that the flowers and plants he had previously considered interfering factors had changed in nature. The flowers and plants were no longer interfering factors, they had become part of the runes. The trees formed the main structure of the runes, while the flowers and plants became the intricate details, all indispensable. As the rune difficulty increased, Lin Moyu realized that the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerate was using this special method to pass on his rune knowledge. Through repeated observation and combination of runes, his understanding of runes deepened, gaining new insights. Runes could not only be combined but also split. A complete rune could be split into 2 or even more parts. Even seemingly split runes could still maintain their connection and original function. Lin Moyu thought of the ancient box. The runes on the ancient box were like this. An ancient rune was split and then covered on the ancient box. The seemingly scattered runes were actually still a whole, maintaining their original function. With this, Lin Moyu thought of many new uses for runes. Especially in rune arrays, it could make the arrays more flexible and changeable. This is the inheritance. The Heavenly Venerate's inheritance, the information in the data is just one aspect, like words in a book, not vivid. But now, it's more like teaching you hand in hand. If you can understand, you can obtain the inheritance. If you can't understand, then there is no follow-up. Lin Moyu's understanding of the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerate deepened. The requirements for the Heavenly Venerate's inheritance were very high, demanding all-around capabilities from the inheritor. Combat power, comprehension, sensitivity, luck, all indispensable. On the 7th round of the Secret Realm, Lin Moyu finally felt a bit of pressure. From this round onwards, the rune beasts in the Secret Realm had all reached the 9th tier of the God Sovereign level, barely qualifying as peak God Sovereigns. Even with the Legion commander leading the Death Dragon Knight Legion, it took some effort to eliminate them. Lin Moyu observed this and thought, next time, I'll have to deploy the Skeleton King. Fortunately, each round of the Secret Realm lasted 10 hours, and the Secret Realm wasn't very large, so Lin Moyu didn't need to rush. He summoned 300 units of the Death Dragon Knight Legion, distributing them throughout the Secret Realm to clear out the rune beasts. This level of difficulty was indeed very high for other cultivators. Even peak God Sovereigns would struggle against the onslaught of rune beasts, and they would eventually tire, unable to fight indefinitely. Not to mention the 8th round, even the 4th round, facing a large number of 8th-tier God Sovereign rune beasts, would exhaust peak God Sovereigns, especially with the presence of Guardian rune beasts. Lin Moyu followed behind the Death Dragon Knight Legion, carefully observing the distribution of trees and considering the placement of flowers and grass. Gradually, he frowned as he noticed the difficulty of the runes in the Secret Realm had increased again. Lin Moyu saw that this time, the runes had become threefold. There were runes on all sides, the top, and the bottom. Moreover, the runes were scattered, with parts of the top runes on the ground and parts of the ground runes on the sides. They were connected in a peculiar way, some by vines, some by the veins of flowers and grass. They formed an intricate pattern, interwoven with each other. The runes were scattered and distributed across various areas, and Lin Moyu had to reassemble them through these subtle connections to draw the correct runes. There were countless runes, and some were very similar. A slight misunderstanding could result in drawing the wrong rune, and the final fused rune would also be incorrect, preventing the wood god flower from appearing. Previously, Lin Moyu could quickly find the correct runes, but this time, his speed slowed down. He combined and restored various detailed pieces of information in his mind. Outside the Secret Realm, God Sovereigns arrived every day. At this moment, the arena had been set up, but no God Sovereigns were fighting. They weren't in a hurry. Lin Moyu was the center of their attention. Almost every conversation included Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu had been in the secret realm for many days and had not come out. Some even speculated that Lin Moyu might have died inside. Although the Wood God secret realm wasn't particularly dangerous, it wasn't entirely without risk. Some people had died in the secret realm because they didn't use escape talismans in time. Such cases were rare, but they did happen occasionally. If Lin Moyu had indeed died inside, it wouldn't be surprising. However, when Yu Chengfeng heard this, he immediately refuted it. Even the scholarly Yu Chengfeng showed disdain for such remarks. He knew very well how strong Lin Moyu was. Even if he were to fight Lin Moyu to the death, he knew he would be the one to die. The idea that Lin Moyu would die in the secret realm was impossible. But Yu Chengfeng didn't say much, he let them speculate. He told the god sovereigns of the Yu family, just wait for the news of Mr. Lin clearing the secret realm and watch these old guys' faces. The Yu family god sovereigns all smiled, looking at the other god sovereigns as if they were a joke. 4 hours later, Lin Moyu finally successfully drew the runes for the 8th round. 3 seemingly simple basic runes were perfectly fused together using the soul as a bridge, forming a new rune. The fusion of 3 runes was a challenge for many rune masters and not easy to achieve. Only rune masters above the 7th tier could possibly complete the fusion of 3 runes, and even then, it wasn't always successful. As for perfect fusion, it was even more unlikely. After the runes fused, they exploded in the air, creating a huge gap in the secret realm. Countless mists poured out from the gap, and a giant tree, thousands of meters tall, grew from the mist. A starry sky giant tree? Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. This tree resembled the starry sky giant tree but was formed by runes, merely simulating its appearance. Behind the giant tree was a wood god flower with 9 petals. The runes had become more difficult, the secret realm's difficulty had increased, and even the appearance of the wood god flower had changed. Lin Moyu smiled, the heavenly lord's tricks are indeed numerous, making it seem a bit more advanced. The guardian rune beast, the giant tree, launched an attack on Lin Moyu. The Legion commander led the Death Dragon Knight Legion to meet it head-on. 100,000 Death Dragon Knights surrounded the giant tree in layers. The Legion commander charged at the forefront, raising his battle blade for a fatal strike. The fatal strike was his strongest attack, gathering the power of the entire Legion. With one slash, a large swath of light was brought up, cutting off countless branches. But when the blade fell on the rune beast giant tree, it couldn't advance any further. The giant tree's strong defense blocked the Legion commander's attack. The Death Dragon Knights breathed dragon fire, and the undying flames, carrying the undying laws, burned fiercely. But they still couldn't harm it. The guardian rune beast frantically swung its branches, and any Death Dragon Knight hit by them was instantly shattered. In one round of attacks, tens of thousands of Death Dragon Knights were killed, with half the Legion dead or injured. The undying necromancy spell was activated, and the Death Dragon Knights were resurrected, continuing the fierce battle. The Death Dragon Knights and the Legion commander couldn't truly harm the guardian rune beast, and the guardian rune beast couldn't kill them all either. Lin Moyu knew that if this continued, there would be no result even after days and nights of fighting. With limited time, he lightly tapped his finger. The Skeleton King's throne emerged from the undying flames. The 10,000-meter-tall Skeleton King stood towering in the secret realm. The bone sword swung in the flames, slashing out a beam of sword light. Spell, God Slaying. Signature spell, God Slaying slash. The sword light exploded on the guardian rune beast, creating a huge hole, almost cutting it in half. The Skeleton King was a true peak god sovereign, stronger than the guardian rune beast. With just one slash, the guardian rune beast was half dead. The Skeleton King charged forward, and sword light rained down like a storm. In an instant, the guardian rune beast was shattered into pieces. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh. The difference in combat power between high-tier god sovereigns is like heaven and earth. The Legion commander, at the peak of the 8th tier, could only scratch its surface. The Death Dragon Knights couldn't even harm it, it still required the Skeleton King to settle the matter. With the Wood God Flower in hand, Lin Moyu stepped into the portal, starting the 8th round of the Secret Realm. The difficulty of the 8th and 9th rounds increased again, but the increase was not significant and was resolved by Lin Moyu. Until he obtained the 9th high-tier Wood God Flower, a pitch-black portal appeared before him. The portal looked like a devouring monster, seemingly ready to swallow Lin Moyu. Behind the portal, a vortex was faintly spinning. All the changes indicated that the 10th round would be extraordinary. Lin Moyu looked at the entrance and felt that the 10th round of the high-tier difficulty Secret Realm would be different. But he couldn't back out now, he had to move forward. He put away the wood god flower and stepped in boldly. The scene before him dimmed, and he felt as if he were in the starry sky. Amidst the mist, starlight continuously shone, but he couldn't sense any starlight laws within it. Lin Moyu, stepping on the star river of the starlight law, was most sensitive to the starlight law. These starlights were not ordinary starlights but artificially created illusions. He was still within the secret realm, where everything was evolved from ancient runes. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry, he chose to wait and see. The mist gradually receded, and the scene before him became clearer. He had indeed entered a starry sky, a false starry sky evolved from ancient runes. "Congratulations, my successor." A familiar voice came from the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. Lin Moyu looked ahead and saw hundreds of starlights simultaneously light up in the starry sky, forming a rune. The rune reflected a throne, and the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord was leisurely sitting on the throne. This time, Lin Moyu felt a trace of a soul. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord had left a wisp of his soul here again. This wisp of soul was clearly more powerful and had its own will, stronger than the one in the mysterious star secret realm. Lin Moyu bowed to the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. Junior greets the Heavenly Lord. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord chuckled. "Not bad, young one, very polite. Congratulations on passing the previous tests. You are even more outstanding than I imagined. At the mere second tier of the God Sovereign level, you possess combat power comparable to a peak God Sovereign. Even in my era, such individuals were rare. I am very curious about you. Do not resist, let me take a look." In the starry sky, starlight shone brilliantly, and countless rays of light shot from all directions, illuminating Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's heart tightened. He wanted to refuse but found he couldn't. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord didn't give him a choice. Lin Moyu could only accept. Anger surged within him. Lin Moyu felt the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord had gone too far. "Even if you are a Heavenly Lord, you cannot invade my privacy without my permission." This Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord was different from the one in the mysterious star secret realm. He wasn't as irritable or arrogant, but Lin Moyu felt even worse about him. Vaguely, Lin Moyu began to dislike the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord, feeling that this guy wasn't a good person. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's soul invaded Lin Moyu's soul world, trying to peer into his soul. In the soul world, the world-burning fire seed suddenly erupted, and a sharp scream came from the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's mouth. Thick flames suddenly rose from the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord, and the undying flame instantly engulfed his soul. In the undying flame, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord screamed continuously. Lin Moyu could feel that the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's soul was severely injured, being burned by the undying flame. This time, the undying flame was different from when Lin Moyu activated it himself. It contained the power of the world-burning fire seed. This power could burn even the world, incredibly terrifying. However, it was still just a fire seed, not strong enough. If it were strong enough, it could instantly burn the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's remnant soul to ashes. No matter how weak the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's remnant soul was, it was still a remnant soul of a Heavenly Lord. A Heavenly Lord's remnant soul had the power to suppress a Saint Sovereign, undeniably strong. But it couldn't withstand the world-burning fire. Lin Moyu became more interested in the world-burning fire seed, wondering if it could burn a real Heavenly Lord if it were strong enough. Perhaps it really can, Lin Moyu thought, full of anticipation. Watching the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord scream continuously, Lin Moyu felt no sympathy. He completely deserved it, it served him right. After a while, the flames on the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord finally subsided. He looked at Lin Moyu with lingering fear and trembled. "How do you have his flame?" "His flame?" Lin Moyu thought of the mysterious master, more terrifying than a Heavenly Lord. From the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's words, it wasn't hard to deduce that the world-burning fire belonged to that mysterious master. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such a thing. The world-burning fire might be a symbol, carrying a meaning beyond the flame itself. Lin Moyu didn't answer but quietly watched the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. After being burned, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's remnant soul was at least half as weak and had begun to dissipate uncontrollably. Lin Moyu saw a trace of fear in his eyes, along with a hint of resentment. No, this remnant soul has developed self-awareness. Lin Moyu thought of a troubling possibility. The remnant soul had been preserved from ancient times until now. To ensure it didn't dissipate, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord must have used some methods to nourish and preserve it. Moreover, this remnant soul was clearly more abundant and powerful. Developing self-awareness wasn't impossible. With this realization, Lin Moyu understood why the final round of the secret realm had changed. It shouldn't have changed. He should have experienced the 10th round as before, then fused the wood god flower to receive the inheritance. But because this remnant soul had developed self-awareness, it didn't want to follow the holy talisman Heavenly Lord's set path. It wanted its own way. Combining this with its previous actions, Lin Moyu finally understood. Lin Moyu's gaze turned cold. You don't want to peer into my secrets. You want to possess me. The remnant soul's expression changed, showing a hint of confusion. What are you talking about? How could I, a heavenly lord, possess you? You entered here, passed the tests, gained my recognition, received the inheritance, and became my successor. From now on, you are my disciple. How could I possess you? Watching his clumsy performance, Lin Moyu sneered, your acting is too poor. You call yourself a heavenly lord, yet you dare not admit your actions. Do you deserve to be called a heavenly lord? How dare you speak so disrespectfully? The remnant soul roared angrily. Lin Moyu waved his hand dismissively, forget it. I don't want this inheritance. Let me leave, and I'll pretend this never happened. The remnant soul roared, you have no choice but to take this inheritance. He finally stopped pretending, his eyes filled with ferocity and murderous intent. The entire starry sky trembled, and endless power surged from all directions, as if to crush Lin Moyu completely. Lin Moyu remained unafraid, calmly watching him. He had long guessed this outcome. No matter how strong the remnant soul was, it was still just a remnant soul, striving to become a living being. Having waited so long for someone like him, how could it let him go? Lin Moyu said, you should know that possessing me won't succeed. The remnant soul sneered, although you have his flame, you are not him. As long as I kill you, his flame will naturally disappear. Lin Moyu shrugged helplessly, in that case, we have nothing to discuss. If you want to kill me, go ahead and try. As he spoke, countless undead legions appeared in the starry sky. Billions of skeleton generals flew out, attacking the stars in the sky. The numerous stars here were the source of the remnant soul's power and could form various runes. To deal with the remnant soul, the stars had to be destroyed first. The stars quickly lit up, and countless starlights intertwined into numerous runes. The runes transformed into flames or thunder, overwhelming the undead legions. The previously silent starry sky suddenly became extremely lively. Seas of fire, seas of thunder, and ice storms appeared one after another, overwhelming the undead army. Each rune was very powerful. Although they were not ancient runes, their power had reached the limit of high-level runes. Each attack was infinitely close to the other shore realm, causing massive deaths in the undead army, which was utterly defeated. Lin Moyu admitted he was not as good. If he were to draw these runes, he certainly wouldn't achieve such power. After all, it's the Heavenly Lord. These runes are indeed strong. The remnant soul gritted its teeth and let out a cruel laugh, give up. Although you have many summoned creatures, they can't withstand the Heavenly Lord's slaughter. Once you are killed by the Heavenly Lord, I will possess you. Even if you have his flame, you can't control it. You have only one path to take. Lin Moyu ignored him. The remnant soul would die soon, so why bother with it? He was very interested in the runes in the starry sky and didn't pay attention to the battle situation. The number of undead was sufficient, and with the presence of the undying undead, there would be no problem for a while. Lin Moyu took this opportunity to appreciate these runes. He wanted to learn from them. He recognized each rune, and he had drawn some of them before. Why was the power different? This was a very interesting matter. If he could figure it out, it would greatly benefit his understanding of runes. The stronger the runes, the stronger the rune formations they form, and the stronger the fused runes will be. The foundation is everything, no doubt about it. Lin Moyu carefully compared, looking for the differences between his runes and those of the opponent. The first difference is the soul power carried by the runes. The runes of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord use the soul power of the Heavenly Lord realm, which is stronger than mine. The second difference is that these runes seem to have been modified. The overall structure hasn't changed, but there are some changes in the details, making the runes stronger. It should be the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord who made modifications based on his understanding of the way of runes, making them closer to the Tao. Runes are the principles that cultivators comprehend from the runes of the greater world. Not all runes are entirely correct. After reaching the Heavenly Lord realm, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord made corrections to the runes based on his understanding of the Tao, making them closer to the runes of the greater world. After understanding these 2 points, Lin Moyu knew what he needed to do. He also drew a rune, named Thunder, similar to the Thunder rune in the starry sky. The Thunder rune drawn by Lin Moyu was also not weak. With his understanding of runes and the soul of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord, The Thunder Rune could exert the attack power of a 4th-tier god sovereign. The rune's power exceeded its own realm by 2 tiers, already considered top-notch, far surpassing ordinary rune masters. Then Lin Moyu began to adjust, using the Thunder Rune in the starry sky as a sample to fine-tune his own rune. Ordinary rune masters didn't have this ability, but Lin Moyu did. Soul power enveloped the rune, making fine adjustments to it. Some details and strokes were subtly changed, and Lin Moyu clearly felt the rune's power increasing. The attack power of the Thunder Rune increased from the 4th tier to the 5th tier of the God Sovereign realm. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt the rune becoming more natural and harmonious, producing a feeling of being as natural as the Tao. Lin Moyu realized that his approach was correct. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's way of runes had reached an astonishing level. By copying his runes, Lin Moyu could quickly improve his understanding of runes. With progress made, Lin Moyu's confidence soared, and he continued to fine-tune the Thunder Rune. Moments later, the power of the Thunder Rune increased again, reaching the 6th tier of the God Sovereign realm. The rune's power exceeded its own realm by 4 tiers, leaving other rune masters far behind. However, this was also the limit, and it couldn't be improved further. Lin Moyu immediately began drawing another rune, named Fire Sea, again copying the runes in the starry sky for fine-tuning. Fine-tuning was not just copying but learning how to adjust, continuously accumulating experience. When enough experience was accumulated and fully understood, other runes could also be adjusted even without a reference. Lin Moyu felt this opportunity was fantastic, almost as good as the inheritance of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. The remnant soul finally noticed something was wrong. No matter how many undead were killed, there were always more. Killing them was like an endless cycle. The runes attacked frantically, and even though the starry sky was shattered, it was useless. The remnant soul began to panic. His time was limited, and activating the runes continuously consumed his power. If this continued, he would be exhausted to death. He looked at Lin Moyu, but the undead army was so numerous that it obscured Lin Moyu's figure, preventing him from seeing what Lin Moyu was doing from the beginning. This time, he carefully observed and finally saw what Lin Moyu was doing. "You dare to copy the Heavenly Lord's runes? How bold!" Lin Moyu sneered, "Don't flatter yourself. These are not your runes. You are just a remnant soul of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. You developed self-awareness and consider yourself a true Heavenly Lord? To put it bluntly, you are nothing." These words provoked the remnant soul, which roared like a wild beast. "How dare you speak to the Heavenly Lord like this? You seek death." He began drawing runes. As a remnant soul of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord, he possessed some of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord's memories and could naturally draw runes. However, drawing runes consumed a lot of soul power, and he usually wouldn't do it. Now, to kill Lin Moyu, he no longer cared. He hated Lin Moyu to the core, as the world-burning fire had burned half of his remnant soul. A 3-dimensional rune was quickly drawn, and Lin Moyu became vigilant, whispering, "Ancient Rune." An ancient rune was at least at the other shore realm, extremely powerful. To kill Lin Moyu, the remnant soul didn't hesitate to consume soul power to draw an ancient rune. When the ancient rune was completed, Lin Moyu clearly felt the remnant soul weaken by another 3 parts. At this moment, his soul power was only 1/3 of its peak. With this amount of soul power, he couldn't draw a second ancient rune. If he drew another ancient rune, he might collapse on the spot, let alone possess anyone. An ancient rune, though powerful, was not insurmountable. The ancient rune exploded in the starry sky, transforming into a giant tree. "Taste the power of the starry sky giant tree," the remnant soul sneered. Lin Moyu looked puzzled. Another starry sky giant tree? It seemed the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord really liked starry sky giant trees. In the high-tier difficulty secret realm, the guardians of the wood god flower were all starry sky giant trees. However, the one before him, formed by a complete ancient rune, was more lifelike and powerful. The starry sky giant tree appeared on the battlefield as if by teleportation, swinging countless branches. Wherever the branches passed, the undead army was swept away, unable to resist its attacks. The golden armor runes were like paper in front of it, completely ineffective. The powerful rule force spread wantonly, and the starry sky giant tree had an overwhelming presence. "You're dead, starry sky giant tree, kill him," the remnant soul commanded, locking onto Lin Moyu. The starry sky giant tree immediately charged at Lin Moyu, sweeping its branches and forcibly creating a path. Lin Moyu could feel that the starry sky giant tree had combat power equivalent to the other shore realm, but its true strength wouldn't surpass the other shore realm. In his eyes, it was similar to the white star in the Xinghuo tribe. In that case, let me put an end to this. Lin Moyu sneered, and an ancient rune jade piece appeared in his hand, emanating the unique aura of an original spell. Original spell, gathering power. Lin Moyu's aura continued to rise, breaking through to the 7th tier of the God Sovereign realm in the blink of an eye, becoming a high-tier God Sovereign. Then his aura surged like a rainbow, reaching the peak of the God Sovereign realm, just a step away from the half-step Othershore realm. The remnant soul showed a puzzled expression. How can your realm suddenly increase so much? What spell did you use? Why can't I understand it? So, he doesn't have these memories. Lin Moyu sneered inwardly. After all, the remnant soul was just a remnant and couldn't possess all the memories of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord. He only had a portion, the memories and knowledge that the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord had willingly given, so it was normal for him not to know about the original spell. Lin Moyu didn't explain. 10 drops of myriad colors water and 100,000 units of faith power burned simultaneously, merging with his soul power and injecting into the ancient rune jade piece. A giant fist appeared out of thin air, smashing towards the starry sky giant tree. The ancient rune's punch also reached the Othershore realm, not inferior to the starry sky giant tree. Original spell, strengthening soldiers. The second original spell was activated, and at the same time, the undying flame burned fiercely in the starry sky. 5 skeleton thrones floated up, and 5 10,000-meter-tall skeleton kings stood up from the thrones. Myriad colors water and faith power burned fiercely. Each skeleton king had 100 drops of myriad colors water and 1,000,000 units of faith power. Combined with the strengthening soldiers spell, the skeleton king's destructive power was pushed to the limit, nearly reaching the Othershore realm. A golden sword appeared in Lin Moyu's hand, also enhanced by 100 drops of myriad colors water and 1,000,000 units of faith power. Lin Moyu enjoyed the same treatment as the skeleton kings. The remnant soul screamed, "What is this? Why don't I know about it? What methods are you using?" He instinctively felt that the myriad colors water Lin Moyu took out was very dangerous and posed a great threat to him. But he had no memory of these things, he didn't know. Lin Moyu sneered and, together with the skeleton kings, swung his long sword. Spell, God Slaying. 6 sword lights flashed in the starry sky. The storm-like branches suddenly stopped, and 6 sword lights exploded on the starry sky giant tree. As the sword lights exploded, the ancient rune's punch also landed on it. The starry sky giant tree shattered on the spot, its body smashed to pieces by the sword lights and the giant punch. The ancient rune broke and gradually dissipated in the starry sky. The remnant soul's eyes widened in fear. This is impossible. How can you be so strong? The starry sky giant tree, formed by the ancient rune and comparable to the Othershore realm, was killed so easily. Lin Moyu's combat power was beyond his imagination. Lin Moyu looked at the remnant soul with disdain. After all, a remnant soul is just a remnant soul, far inferior to a true heavenly lord. Even if the ancient rune of a heavenly lord broke, it could independently exist and evolve into a secret realm. But the ancient rune of a remnant soul, once broken, was completely gone. Lin Moyu looked at the remnant soul. Now it's your turn. The soul-slaying sword appeared, and myriad colors water and faith power were activated again. The soul-slaying sword flashed, and the remnant soul screamed in pain. But Lin Moyu frowned. The remnant soul seemed to be in pain, but it wasn't actually harmed. The soul-slaying sword was not weak and could harm the Othershore realm, but it couldn't hurt the remnant soul. The reason was that the remnant soul belonged to a heavenly lord, and the two were on different levels. Just as his curse could make a peak god sovereign feel pain and even interrupt spells, it couldn't cause effective damage. Attacking the soul-slaying sword was already the strongest method. Unless he used corpse explosion, other spells were useless against it. Runes flashed in the starry sky, and the battle between the runes and the undead army continued without stopping. The remnant soul laughed maniacally in pain. Ha ha ha, you can't kill me. You can't kill me. You are trapped here, and you will never escape. Your lifespan is limited, but I can wait. I can wait for thousands or tens of thousands of years until your lifespan ends. As he spoke, his remnant soul gradually faded and disappeared. As he disappeared, the runes also extinguished. The space fell into darkness, and the starlight vanished. The battle abruptly stopped, and Lin Moyu frowned. This guy actually hid. He could sense the remnant soul and lock onto it. During the battle, the bone hell had silently marked the remnant soul. Even if the remnant soul hid, it couldn't escape Lin Moyu's lock. Now, as long as Lin Moyu used corpse explosion, he could kill the remnant soul. Lin Moyu believed that using a supreme corpse would cause enough damage to destroy the heavenly lord's remnant soul. But he didn't want to do that, it was too wasteful. Using his trump card on the remnant soul was not worth it. The escape talisman can't be used. It seems I am indeed trapped. But can it really trap me? Wishful thinking. Lin Moyu checked the escape talisman and found it indeed unusable. But as long as he had time, deepening his understanding of space laws, he could also open a space door to escape the secret realm. There were ways to escape, but Lin Moyu didn't want to use them. At this point, Lin Moyu was no longer thinking about escaping but about how to kill the remnant soul with the least cost. After thinking it over, his attention fell on the world-burning fire seed. The world-burning fire seed came from the world-burning rune of that mysterious master. Unlike ordinary runes, the world-burning fire had the power of both reality and illusion, capable of burning the world, refining the world, and burning remnant souls. Let's give it a try. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he began to activate the world-burning fire seed. The world-burning fire seed had not fully grown, like a budding flower. Lin Moyu now wanted it to bloom early and burn the world. The world tree followed Lin Moyu's will, dropping countless branches to wrap around the world-burning fire seed. Vast soul power poured into the world-burning fire seed, urging its growth. The world-burning fire seed began to pulse violently, growing stronger. This premature activation was like forcing growth, not very beneficial. But it wouldn't cause much harm either. At worst, he could redraw a world-burning rune and create another world-burning fire seed. Lin Moyu was straightforward. He just wanted to kill the remnant soul now. This thing wanted to possess him, so it deserved to die. The fire seed grew stronger and finally bloomed like a flower, turning into a blazing flame. Lin Moyu raised his palm, and a flame appeared in his hand, emitting an indescribable aura. It looked somewhat similar to the undying flame, both having a grayish hue and no temperature. But anyone who saw the world-burning fire would feel the fear of being burned to death. Go. With a thought, the world-burning fire exploded, silently sweeping across the entire space. Burning the world, refining the world. Lin Moyu didn't know if the world-burning fire could refine this secret realm space, but it didn't matter. The important thing was that the world-burning fire could burn the remnant soul to death. Screams echoed in the starry sky. The hiding remnant soul couldn't escape the world-burning fire. It screamed continuously, in extreme pain. Lin Moyu could clearly feel it being devoured and burned by the world-burning fire bit by bit. The remnant soul reappeared in the starry sky, rolling on the ground in pain, completely unlike a heavenly lord. Spare me, the remnant soul screamed, losing all dignity of a heavenly lord. Lin Moyu looked at it coldly, saying nothing. At this point, sparing it was impossible. Not only did he not spare it, but Lin Moyu also enhanced his soul power, making the world-burning fire even stronger.